You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are in a bit of a nightmarish situation. Think about this. They went into a 3-day/4-day, 2-game stretch where they should have come out of the games at 9-4, firmly in playoff positioning, because they were playing the then 2-10 Patriots and the 2-10 Cardinals in Pittsburgh. If you were a Steelers fan, you picked up the schedule and said, oh, we're boat racing both these teams. And instead, you've heard me say this, you shit the bed. You shit all in the bed. All right, let's just keep it real. You messed up the covers. Everybody's doing laundry. It was awful. It stunk it up. People are calling for Mike Tomlin's gig. Well, there's been a lot of fallout around these two losses, okay? I mean, people are wondering, has Tomlin lost his voice? You got George Pickens continuing to show his ass. You got Mike Tomlin coming out now and essentially, last month, he talked about Pickens' behavior. Now you got Mike Tomlin saying, no, it's a problem. And I'm going to tell you how bad George Pickens' behavior has gotten, and we'll get to this. Antonio Brown is telling you to straighten your ass up. Wait, what? Are we in bizarro world right now where Antonio Brown is becoming the voice of reason for behavior? What? That happened, folks. That happened. Antonio Brown has told George Pickens, straighten your ass up, for lack of a better way of putting it. Let's get to this. Now, we saw, look, Pickens was throwing tantrums on the sidelines when the offense isn't working, all this stuff that we have seen out of George Pickens, no doubt, talented as all get out. But he showed his backside quite a few times. Tomlin said it wasn't a problem. Now Tomlin is saying, nah, it is a problem. Tomlin addressed the media on Monday, talked about Pickens' sideline behavior. Quote, it's a problem because it's not solution-oriented. Uh-oh. In other words, if you're going to run around and throw a fit, you better come with some constructiveness to the offense or something to add or contribute some way that you think it could be better. In other words, you're just getting mad and you're giving us nothing. We're all frustrated, but we got to manage our frustrations in a professional, mature way. I love how Mike Tomlin talks. And when it's not done that way, it's not necessarily pushing us towards solutions. And so from that perspective, certainly. So he just drowned him. He just drowned him right there. So that brings us over to this. Encourages George Pickens to control that frustration. Antonio Brown. What is happening? Talking to fans on Spaces chat on his X page, Brown spoke about several topics concerning the 2023 Steelers, including his support of Mason Rudolph. Look at what. Don't put Mitchell Trubisky out there anymore. At least try Mason Rudolph again. He's a little more mature now, maybe, who knows. And how he thinks Kenny Pickett has all the tools to be successful. I believe that too. Brown also spoke about second-year wide receiver George Pickens and his visible frustration with the offense and his lack of involvement, encouraging Pickens to better control his emotions. Whoa. Quote, I love those guys who want the ball because they want to be great, Brown said. But you got to be able to control that frustration because you don't want the quarterback to get stressed out by you and then not want to put you in a position that you desire to be in. The whole thing about being frustrated when playing football is because you want to be the reason you win, but you don't want to deteriorate that frustration and make others feel away because you want to be special or great. That is amazing. That's amazing. Brown sees this behavior as potential issue between Pickens and his quarterback, putting stress on the passer. Quote, I advise GP to go talk to Pickett, go talk to Tomlin, go talk to the offensive coordinator, and get you a play box so when stuff breaks down or the game is not going well, you still can be involved to do what you desire to do and help the team win. This is incredibly mature from Antonio Brown. So it just all starts with leadership, communications, and being on the same page with people around you, because you're only as good as the people around you. It sounds like Antonio Brown actually did learn something from Tom Brady after all. Oh, he wouldn't want to hear that. But needless to say, I don't ever agree with Antonio Brown, and I think hell just froze over, as CM Punk's shirt is saying right now. Hell just froze over because Antonio Brown is 100% right here. He is correct. And somebody better save the sinking ship, because one of the biggest NFL insiders out there believes Mike Tomlin could be on his way out of town. And it could be to the number one place Bill Belichick wants to go, which is the Washington Redskins / Commanders. They'll always be the Redskins to me. But we think that's the place that Bill Belichick is eyeing with Josh Harris and bringing his buddy Josh McDaniels with him. Jay Glazer of Fox Sports has come out and said he thinks the Commanders all of a sudden are interesting as a place to watch if Art Rooney II, if Tomlin decides this has gotten stale for me, my voice isn't heard, any of these things, it's time for me to move on, I need a change of scenery. Jay Glazer of Fox Sports joined David Hellman on Monday to discuss a number of things, and one of those was the status of Tomlin's job and if it could be in jeopardy. The respected NFL insider is extremely confident that if word got out that the Steelers might be ready to move on from him, a number of organizations would be calling about a potential trade. One in particular stands out. Quote, I'm telling you, if Mike Tomlin was available, teams would be lining up. They would. I would guess 5, 6, 7 deep. Depends on how many openings they are. Anybody that's got an opening is going to want to take a look at him. Even if he's not available yet, teams should be calling, trying to trade for Mike Tomlin. Hey, Washington, he's from Virginia. Oh, man. Perfect. I'm at least giving it a shot. I'm trying for it. You got to swing for a guy like that if he's on the hot seat. The Commanders are more than likely to part ways with Ron Rivera after a frustrating 2023 season and the overall tenure as the team's head coach. He has gone through a lot, including an ownership change, but the NFL is a results league, yada, yada, yada. Someone like Glazer, who is in the know bringing up this idea, gives it more credibility than in the past. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, by the way, I did see another note in this that is talking about Eric Bieniemy. I think he's a guy that you want to watch for as OC, maybe, in Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah, Eric Bieniemy is capable, I think we have found out, of being an offensive coordinator. I still have my doubts about his head coaching prowess, and most of that's got to do with some of the things that he was involved with at Colorado back in the day when he got in a bind and he got in trouble. I mean, plain and simple. I'm like, do you really want that dude as your face of the lead guy in your organization? I find it very telling that if Josh Harris is going to fire Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy is going to be this big hot coaching candidate, then why is he not your interim head coach today? Why was he not your interim head coach? I mean, the morning after Thanksgiving football and you got obliterated by the Cowboys. I think that should tell people something. There's something about Eric Bieniemy, who's been interviewed like 15 times, and these owners keep passing on him, that just isn't setting well with these guys, okay? And we've heard some of the players can't stand him. Even now, some of the players can't stand Eric Bieniemy. I don't know what to say about that. I find it wild. You got Antonio Brown offering up words of legitimate, lucid words of wisdom. And boy, I've said this, I have destroyed Antonio Brown in I don't know how many videos. Maybe like 40, okay? I mean, between the big channel and this channel, a lot of them over his behavior. The only other thing I ever agreed with him on was when he drowned Colin Kaepernick for being a fake and being a grifter. I was like, Antonio Brown's 100% right about that. He's 100% right about this. And it does seem like, at least from an on-field perspective, maybe Antonio Brown learned some things. I will fully acknowledge that dude is an all-time great wide receiver. And if you look at his stats, right now, Antonio Brown is a borderline Hall of Famer. There's no way around it. He's got like 11,000 yards in a Super Bowl ring and a shit ton of touchdowns. If he'd have played 1 or 2 more years, he'd have locked it down. And I believe, and will continue to say, if he had not stormed off the field against the Jets when he was in Tampa Bay and just kept playing, that Tom Brady would have actually won another ring, because Antonio Brown was that big of a weapon on that team. The year before helping him win one, that year when he played, he was still putting up numbers. And he's just damn fast. He's super fast. So, he's right. These wide receivers, they've got to quit showing their asses. It's unbelievable. And it's like just that position. I don't get it. I understand you want the ball, but quit burning your teams to the ground. I mean, it seems like, and honestly, I should root for them to all keep running their mouth because it's good for the channel. But, be a team player. Hines Ward is your example in Steelers lore as a guy, how to contribute to the blocking game and all that, all of it. I found this very interesting because Mike Tomlin to the Commanders would put a serious monkey in the wrench for Bill Belichick. Or is it wrench and a monkey? I don't know. Monkey wrench is the thing, but you get the point. It could potentially screw up Belichick's destination. And we talked about Tomlin getting thrown, railed out is a thing because of the contract. He's going to be a lame duck going into next year, and it's going to make it impossible to hire a good offensive coordinator. So something's got to give. He's either extended or he's traded or he retires for a year or something like that. Something's got to give there with Mike Tomlin. So potentially you got Belichick, Harbaugh, and Tomlin as available coaches out there right now. Wow. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.